What is up, guys? I'm back for another video, and this one's going to be another lesson on pentatonics and different resources to use to spice up your pentatonics and to make them sound a little bit different and to just give them a whole new dimension. So I'm going to be giving you guys 5 different forms of spicing up your pentatonics and making them sound different. So I'm going to start with what's a pentatonic scale. So a pentatonic scale is a scale built up of 5 notes. And basically you can make up a pentatonic scale from every different scale that there is and various different modes of those pentatonic scales as well, which is something that I'm going to be mentioning later on. So these 5 tips that I'm going to be giving you guys, I'll go by the hand. They are applied differently and you can apply them and use them on their own, but they sound better and they excel when you guys combine them and make them work together. So number 1, think horizontally and not vertically. What I mean by that is that when we usually learn the pentatonic scale, we go up and down that same scale, and you know, it goes up and down, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it sounds like an exercise and we kind of want it to sound musical. So instead of just playing a regular pentatonic scale, try to add notes that are outside of that pattern. So for example, if we were to add notes that are in the pattern before that one, we have these, and then if we add other notes that are in the next shape, we get these ones. So the BB box, so instead of playing, we're gonna play. Just by playing those few notes from the other shapes, we get this whole different sound. And let's take that even further and play it 3 notes per string. So we're gonna be repeating a few notes, but it's just gonna sound different. So as you can see, I played it 3 notes per string, then I ended up going back up with a pattern, which takes me to my second tip, which would be use patterns, play different rhythmic patterns, and use different intervals. For example, what I was doing there, I was using groups of 4. So instead of playing patterns in your regular shape, I was playing the pattern with the other shape that's on top of that one. But you can actually do that with just this one. For example, and you can actually apply that everywhere on the neck, and you can do other types of rhythmic patterns. You can also use groups of 3, groups of 5, and groups of 6, or groups of 7 even. What I like to use a lot is groups of 4 and groups of 3 and 6. So for example, if we were using groups of 3, so that's actually groups of 3. That's a 2-1-2 approach, which I'm going to be talking about in a whole other video, inspired by players like Tim Miller, Borja Yaga, and many other great players who have all applied that method to their playing, and I admire them hugely and love when they do that. That's kind of a pattern that you can also use. I also like to use this pattern of 5 notes, which I believe I did in the intro video, which is something like. So that's a group of 5 notes, and that to me is one of my favorite sounds. I love when music sounds very neuralic, and I like to do that pattern quite a lot. So yeah, that's another pattern to add there. So let's go to tip number 3. Don't just use the pentatonic scale that's pretty obvious to use in that chord that you're thinking. So I'm gonna loop it quickly so you guys can see what I mean. So okay, so we have a C going on. Let's play the obvious choice, which would be C major pentatonic or A minor pentatonic, which is the relative minor. So right, that's pretty much the obvious choice. So instead of just using that, try using other pentatonic scales that may fit, that have different intervals for that chord. You can also use the B minor pentatonic to get that kind of Lydian sound. So yeah, don't be afraid of using different minor pentatonic scales over that chord just because you don't know which other you can use. try different ones, and also try to see the relation between those notes in that pentatonic scale and the key that you're in. So for example, if we're in C and we want to see what kind of relation those notes in the B minor pentatonic scale have with that chord, we will go to the B, which would be the 7th note, we have the D, which would be the 9th note, then we have the E, which would be the major 3rd, then we have the F sharp, which would be the sharp 11 or the sharp 4 in the Lydian sound, and then we have the A, which would be the 6th note. So yeah, don't be afraid to use other pentatonics, and don't be afraid to modify the pentatonic scale as well. For example, if we're in A minor and we want to get that Lydian sound as well, we can actually change one note. So we could change the G for the F sharp and get and that's a different sounding pentatonic scale, and you can modify different notes and get different sounds, and that's actually something really cool to explore and get different sounds. Now let's go to tip number 4, which would be using double stops, which I did in the video. So that part right there is just double stops all the way using the pentatonic scale and then just moving out chromatically. A double stop is basically just 2 notes that you're using melodically. And that's just me using double stops in the pentatonic scale. So you can actually do that throughout all of the neck, and you can use the different combinations that you can get inside of the pentatonic scale. And then the last tip, which would be something along those lines, would be use chromaticism, use approach notes, and use the blue note. So for example, if we're in A minor, we can use this note right here, which would be the blue note, which I did use in the 2nd chord that I play, which would be this one right here. And then just add chromaticism, for example. And that's just going up half a step. You can also go half a step and do different approaches to the notes. And that's going to be the last tip on this video. If you guys liked and enjoy, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that good stuff down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.